I feel like we don't talk about this enough. This is the combined violence rates by political party affiliation. They tracked the party affiliation to the criminals who were engaging in violent activity, and 858 is too much for Republicans as far as I'm concerned. But you can see here that at 22,000 violent crimes, Democrats are far and away the most violent people in our country. That is a matter of fact. Since 1975, 1,000 violent political left-wing attacks and 300 right-wing attacks. These are attacks that led to death. And that's what could have happened at the White House. The ringleader behind the White House UFC plot, you wouldn't believe it, is a dreamer. Somebody who was allowed to stay in the country, Barack Obama, who promised us that dreamers are the best people. John Cornyn was somebody who'd cut ads in order to make sure that dreamers could fast track to American citizenship. They're such great people. Look, there you go. There's his mugshot. This is Abraham Alvarez, one of 5 people who are alleged co-conspirators of a drone attack targeting UFC event. So here's what they're going to do. The UFC event is obviously this big outdoor White House event right here. So here's what's going to happen. Because everybody's outdoors, and because Marco Rubio was there, J.D. Vance was there, Donald Trump was there, Dana White, a ton of celebrities, they were going to fly drones into the surrounding buildings and blow up the building. You're going to see big crashes and smashes and explosions. People were going to run away. They had not only the fans here at the White House, but they had tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of fans across the street at the Ellipse. As people ran away, they were going to mow them down with semi-automatic firearms. And that was the plot. And he would have been able to kill a lot of people. There were a lot of people gathered here. Something, of course, to be taken under advisement for any major sporting event. But something that features Trump is going to get the dreamers dreaming of mass murder, which is exactly what happened. This is insane. Alleged ringleader, explosive drone attack plot against UFC event at the White House is an illegal from Mexico who was granted dreamer status by Obama and allowed to stay in the country. Homeland Security said on Thursday. Abraham Alvarez came to the United States as a child and failed to leave the country when his visa expired. He was granted deportation relief under the Obama administration in the DACA program. Remember that? Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. He was arrested in an old church in a small town of western Nebraska. He intended to use as a safe zone for himself and his co-conspirators who were going to kill President Trump. Alvarez was one of 5 co-conspirators in the scheme to kill Trump and other government officials at the combat sports spectacle UFC fight at the White House. And this was supposed to happen in front of fans. The plotters who were arrested in Ohio, Missouri, California, were trying to attack the UFC event with explosive-laden drones and a team of snipers. Authorities told the outlet that Alvarez was responsible for planning, organizing, and directing the coordinated attack, which was thwarted by the FBI. This illegal alien from Mexico should have never been allowed in the country. He was allowed to stay in the country because of Barack Obama and a bunch of left-wing white liberal ladies who didn't want to be racist so they can have Mexicans killing our president. That's how we're not racist. Keep guys, scumbags like this. Here we go. Alleged ringleader, illegal Mexican alien. Goodness. The United States of America, following statement. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, Abraham Alvarez, illegal alien in Omaha, Nebraska, for his involvement to carry out a mass attack on the White House. The Department of Justice, federal charges, 5 suspects, including Alvarez, who went by the alias Shepard, and the FBI assessed that Alvarez was responsible for planning and organizing. Alvarez and his co-conspirators were charged with conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit violence on White House grounds. There you go. Let's look at that.
To a Fox News alert, DHS confirming the suspected ringleader accused in a plot to carry out a mass casualty attack at the UFC event at the White House on Sunday is an illegal immigrant.
Classic.
Mark Meredith is live outside the White House with more. Hey, Mark. Brian Ainsley and Charlie, good morning, friends. The federal investigation into Sunday's alleged terror plot on the UFC South Lawn event remains ongoing. Investigators looking into how this transpired, what was planned, as well as believing that many as 20 people may have been involved. Our colleagues over at Fox Digital report the alleged ringleader of this incident, Abraham Alvarez, was in the country illegally from Mexico.
Ooh. You know, every story like this, every Henry Novak story, every beheading in the UK, every rape gang inquiry report leads the Western man towards the inexorable truth that there are some cultures that are incompatible with our nations, and we should be extremely choosy as to who we let in and who we allow to stay. And that is a matter of fact. It has been a matter of fact throughout all nations for all time, and also it is a matter of biblical reality. The Bible is not for open borders. In Deuteronomy, and in Numbers, it specifically commands that you do not allow the foreigner to overtake your land, because they will have money to lend you, you will have none to lend them, they will become your master and you will become the slave. And at some point, if you have these ass-eating grin Mexicans who were granted to stay here by Obama trying to kill our president, then perhaps it's time for us to, well, rethink the reality that something like 70% of all Mexicans live in America. That was the statistics that I saw the other day. Like, well, how are you supposed to run a country like that? And then they send remittances back to Mexico. Well, that just means that Mexico just means we should like go and conquer Mexico. Now that's a totally separate conversation, because we already did conquer Mexico once. We already invaded Mexico. It's called the Mexican-American War, and we were able to march like right down and station Marines in Mexico City. We already took over Mexico. Should we just return? That's a good question here. The era of letting foreigners who hate America into our country, like this illegal alien, is over. Another Democrat superhero, FBI arrested. DHS announced this morning that the alleged ringleader UFC terror plot is an illegal alien. This is who Democrats are protecting when they call to abolish ICE. Illegal from Mexico, put together a terror plot to kill our president. This garbage should have never been in the country. This is the face of the president's DACA children. Mexican alien plotted murder. Stop importing murderers. Maybe just stop importing people, period. Maybe we should just chill out and don't let any dreamers. I mean, they were dreaming, right? Dreaming of blowing up the White House. Real shocker. Dreamer terrorist. Just another reason to end DACA now. Deportation tracker. Thankfully, we have deported more people. Go. Deported. Deportations by month. Increasing. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Look at these deeper. Look at this. There you go. Way to go. There comes the deportations. More. We must have more. 2.2 million immigrants self-deported in the past years because they didn't get their dream as dreamers. And what was their dream? To blow up the White House. So I think that's the lesson for today. Don't let people who want to destroy or kill your country into your country. You'll have a much better country. Makes sense to me. Let me know if it makes sense to you in the comment section. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.